Hey, what is going on, guys? You're here from G and J. Today we're going to be unboxing and doing the hands-on of the Elephone A5 that I got from gearbest.com. Like always, the link has been provided below. This device here is really cool in many different ways, and one of them is the fact that it is supporting all the LTE bands here in the USA. Second, it has a pretty decent processor, which is the MediaTek MTK6771, also known as the Helio P60. It comes with 4 GB of RAM, 64 GB of internal storage, and it has a total of 5 cameras. Yes, guys, it has 2 cameras on the front, one a 20 megapixel and a 2 megapixel. Then on the back side, it has 3 cameras, a 12 megapixel main shooter, a 5 megapixel, and also a 3 megapixel sensor. And it comes with a 4000 milliamp battery and a 6.18 inch display, full HD. And yes, I gotta say that overall, I'm quite impressed with the specifications. So let's go ahead and waste no more time and complete the unboxing portion of the video here, like always. So here we have the device. This time I got a color called Starry Blue, and basically we have 3 different tones on the back glass. We can see we have something that looks like a pink, black, and then it turns into blue. Let's go ahead and remove here this film, that way you guys can get a better look at it. So here we go, and I gotta admit, guys, the back glass does look very nice. So here we have the dual cameras of the device with the 3rd camera, and we can see right there the LED flash. And here on the right side, well, this time we had the fingerprint scanner located on the actual metal frame, which is not very common. Then we have the power key, and here we have the volume rockers up and down. And if you guys ask me, the finish here of the metal frame looks very similar to the iPhones. Then towards the bottom side of the phone, we have the USB Type-C with the loudspeaker and the main microphone. Unfortunately, we don't have stereo speakers on this device. On this side of the phone, we get the SIM tray. It is a dual SIM, dual standby device and supports TF cards up to, I believe, 256 gigabytes. Then here we have the 3.5mm headphone jack with the antennas. And on the front side here, like I mentioned before, guys, we have a 6.18 inch display. This one has 480 ppi. We get the dual cameras here on the front side. One is a 20 megapixel sensor and a 2 megapixel sensor. We get the ear speaker, and also we have a notification LED light as well. On the bottom here, we just get a very small chin. By the way, let's go ahead and turn on the device. That way you guys can get a better glance here at the display. So here we have the standard Elephone logo, nothing special, powered by Android, and so far that's all we get as of right now. Let's go ahead and set it aside real quick. Inside here we have a divider, where inside we're going to find a silicone case, which is really neat. I mean, these phones are rare, and as we know, accessories can be a little bit hard to find. I keep mentioning this on every video because I just want to make sure that the message gets across. Every time you get accessories, it's always great. So here we have some QR codes for the manuals, and you guys can see we have a SIM opener. We get a quick start guide, the USB cable, and the wall charger. I believe this is a 2 amp charger, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, yes, as you guys can see, 5 volts, 2 amp charger. So this is going to be just a standard one, nothing very special going on here. And inside of the box we get nothing else. So now that we got the box out of the way, it is time to talk here about the Elephone A5. And I gotta say, guys, that overall this is a really neat phone, especially if you are on a tight budget and you like the looks of the iPhone, you like the notch, you like the metal frame. Then yes, this is definitely the way to go. But keep in mind, guys, that this is currently running Android 8.1, and as of right now, Android Pie has been out for quite a while. And unfortunately, we will not be seeing upgrades when it comes to the software on these brands like Elephone, this particular one, Elephone. We also have Qbot and many others out there that will never be getting upgrades because of obvious reasons. You guys are paying less than $200, and it is already a great phone as it is. So again, we will not be seeing any updates. So here we have the lock screen, and the first thing I want to test here is going to be the fingerprint scanner. It does work quite well. I would say out of every 10 readings, at least 9 I get correctly, and it's actually quite rare that I get any misreadings, to be honest with you guys. But now, having the fingerprint located here on the metal frame, I would say that it is best if you guys record, let's say, your thumbprint or maybe the middle finger from the left hand side. That way it becomes natural to touch it, and again, it is quite accurate. Let me test that again. So let's try that here now with the right hand, and as you guys can see, it becomes quite natural, which is really cool. Another great feature is going to be the face unlock. It does work accurately, as you guys can appreciate. So right now I have my hands away from the fingerprint and it works almost instant, and I have the phone at a very far distance here, or at least from the camera. So again, I am very pleased to see that this has great fingerprint scanner and a great face recognition, which is something they were promising, and they were correct. So coming here, guys, to the Antutu benchmark, which I like to use as a reference. Again, this doesn't really say how good a device is. Well, I went ahead and completed the scoring, and I got 117,000, which is very good. And here, when we go into my device, well, I saw something that I wasn't really happy about. When you guys see here, the CPU model says Qualcomm Snapdragon 845. We know that this is running on the Helio P60, which is located here on the upper side of the operating system. So again, I was quite surprised to see that there. But anyways, guys, here we can see that the rest of the information is actually correct, which is which is okay. And by the way, in case I forgot to mention it, this screen has 480 ppi, which is really nice as well. So yes, here I went ahead and also connected my AT&T SIM card, and as you guys can see, once again, I am getting 4G LTE connectivity, which is really great. A little bug I noticed is that right here, guys, when it comes to the curve of the display and the time, you guys can see that the 9 has been slightly cut out. They needed to fix that and make it, maybe move it a little bit towards the right side. It is something that I just noticed. Maybe it's a bug on the system, but I just wanted to let you guys know about the tiny imperfection, just in case you purchase this device and notice it. At least you won't say, hey Jay, you forgot to mention this. So anyways, coming here into the settings, we're gonna find, well, basically the same thing that we have seen in the past. We can customize here the keys on the bottom. This time we can do a little bit more. We can change the style. Let me go ahead and show you here the navigation bar. So as you guys can see, you have the option to hide them. You have the navigation bar mode. Again, you can move it from right to left and vice versa, which is really cool. Then we got just all the standard stuff here. We get memory, so here we can appreciate that we have 4 GB of RAM, and right now out of that we have about 2 GB free, which is quite normal as well. Also, guys, keep in mind that in this video I'm not completing a full review. I'm just giving you a little insight about the phone, nothing very deep. So now another subject we're going to be mentioning here is going to be the camera. Like I said before, in the back we have a 12, a 5, and a 0.3 megapixel camera. And I gotta say, guys, that overall it does a very good job. And in case you didn't know, it comes with electronic image stabilization, something that I haven't seen on a Chinese phone, I would say, in a very long time, in the sense that, well, normally when they had this feature, the price was at least 350 and up. So here you guys can see that we do have electronic image stabilization, and that definitely helps when it comes to the video stability, and it does work quite well if you guys ask me. So again, I'm very pleased to see that at least we have some sort of stabilization in this device. And now when it comes to the front facing camera, it's the same story here, guys. This is a 20 megapixel sensor with a 2 megapixel sensor, and it does the job quite well. As you guys can appreciate right here, even the camera, the little logos right here are very well focused. My face, it has some sort of beauty face mode. As you can see, my skin tone has been I would say brightened up a little bit, and I do look a little bit pale, but for the most part that's what people like. And yeah, it looks quite good. I mean, I don't have any complaints here when it comes to the front facing camera. So overall, I gotta say that this phone, at least for the first time in a very long time, the camera, I would say, is definitely acceptable. Is it comparable to the Samsungs? I would say no. Is it comparable with the iPhones? I would say definitely not. It is not comparable to the flagship devices that we see nowadays, but at least it's competitive enough to make you happy. When it comes to gaming, guys, thanks to the Helio P60, I didn't have any issues. I have games here like Ospo 8, and I have a few of my own that I like, which are turning to be classic by now. I mean, I am a old school type of person, so for that reason I like old games, but like I said, for the most part it does work very, very well. I did notice that after, I would say, 30 minutes of playing games, like let's say Ospo 8, the phone tends to heat up a little bit here towards the upper side. Maybe that's where the processor is located on the motherboard, and yes, this area right here tends to get a little bit hot. Also, when I performed the Antutu benchmark test, it was the same story. So yes, I have to say that, well, at least that's the only complaint that I have so far. Maybe with the case that doesn't happen, but yes, I did notice a little bit of temperature change, and that was pretty much it. When it comes to the phone calls, I already tested it and it works absolutely great. The loudspeaker, I would say, guys, it is somewhat acceptable. I mean, it's not the greatest out there. Let's go here into library, let's go into my videos, and let's go ahead and try here one of my latest ones. And now let's increase the volume. So definitely not the loudest speaker.
What is going on, guys? You here from Maji and Jay. Today in this video we're going to be looking at a very unique drone from Amazon with the Prime service, of course, guys, and I'm talking about the UFO hand sensing drone. Basically all you need is your hands in order to operate this thing. It doesn't come with a remote controller and it doesn't have an application. All you need to do is charge.
Here, the quality of the loudspeaker is not the greatest out there, and definitely doesn't compare to anything like the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, the Samsungs, the iPhones. This phone is in a different category, and I would say more towards the poor side when it comes to the loudspeaker. Something I did like and appreciate is the fact that, well, when you zoom in to get the entire screen, they don't cover the notch, so at least this doesn't become a distraction. I do appreciate this. I have seen it on other devices in the past, and that's really, really cool. So overall, guys, the main complaints that I have about the Elephone A5 is the fact that it doesn't come with NFC, it doesn't have wireless charging, and in my opinion, having 5 cameras, I mean, which is one of the highlights of the phone, they should have at least included some sort of optical image stabilization, at least in one of the cameras, but unfortunately that doesn't exist. They have replaced it with electronic image stabilization, and it does the job quite okay. So that's just my opinion. I'm not sure if you guys can care less about it, but now 2 features that I use a lot is NFC and wireless charging. Not having it is a little bit unacceptable, at least for my own usage, but it's still, guys, you know, different people have different likes, different needs, and for you this phone might be perfect. I think the price is definitely you know, acceptable considering all the features that we are getting, and the phone is actually, at least physically, beautiful. I mean, I like the back glass tone, I like the 3 camera style here on the side, I like the fingerprint scanner being located here on the metal frame. So overall, when it comes to the design, I think it's quite appealing, and you guys might agree as well. So with this being said, I think that now we have completed here the unboxing and the hands-on of the Elephone A5. If you guys have any questions, please let me know down below. Don't forget to like this video, click on that bell. The giveaway winners will be announced very shortly, so I don't want you guys to miss it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on my next one.